Don't forget folks, before we go any further, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, ring the bell and all that jibber jabber, and thank you very much for supporting Invincible Asia. Late 80s indie horror madness strips off the screen with Evil Dead Trap and its unconnected sequel offering viewers a wild ride that still proves to be as unnerving today as they were over 3 decades ago. Telling 2 very different tales that each provide scares in their own way, the first Evil Dead Trap tells the tale of a television host who receives a videotape that appears to be a real snuff film. But when she takes her team to his location to find the truth behind the video, their investigation soon turns into a deadly game of survival and horror as they start getting picked off one by one. Also known as Trap of the Dead Spirits and Tokyo Snuff, Evil Dead Trap has often been considered as a horror classic by fans of the genre, although with many heavily criticising its final act that sees a shocking supernatural element introduced, taking away from what could have been a genuinely perfect slasher flick. Borrowing its soundtrack influences from Goblin, the film still manages to provide an unhealthy amount of brutal kill scenes, gore and horrific scares, influenced by horror greats such as Sam Raimi, Lucio Fulci and Dario Argento. The film was directed by Ikeda Toshiharu, an adult film director who took a new route with Scent of the Spell in 1985, followed by Evil Dead Trap a few years later that would see him use some of his known porn stars as actresses throughout. While he would return to the world of porn again throughout his career, Ikeda would also direct titles such as The Brutal Insanity of Love, which has also been known as the third part of the Evil Dead Trap series, Sweet Sweet Ghost, Shadow of the Wrath, and The Man Behind the Scissors, among many others, before passing in 2010. The film stars Japanese actress Miyuki Ono, who would go on to star in Ridley Scott's Black Rain the following year with the brilliant Ken Takakura, as well as Hollywood actors Michael Douglas and Andy Garcia. It also boasts some incredible practical effects work by Shinichi Wakaza, who would go on to become a monster suit maker for many of the Godzilla films that followed. The film's stunning visuals were captured by Masaki Tumara, an award-winning cinematographer who was also behind films like Lady Snowblood 1 and 2, Farewell to the Land, Tampopo, Eureka, and many others, leaving viewers with some memorable moments of this not perfect, but notoriously gory slasher flick. In Evil Dead Trap 2, Hideki, also known as Tokyo Snuff 2 and Hideki the Killer, Izo Hashimoto takes over the director's chair, working off a script written by himself and Shakai Tanaka, scribe of many television and anime favourites such as Ultraman, Armitage 3, Birdie the Mighty, Hellsing, Digimon, Eureka 7, and The Big O. Hashimoto, who directed 9 features between 1987 and 2014, was also behind the scripts for titles such as Suke Bandeka, The Drifting Classroom, Oh My Mermaid, Yumbyo's Peacock King, and the legendary anime classic Akira. Cinematographer Osamu Fujishi delivers some of the most stunning visuals ever captured in a horror movie, especially of this time period, and especially for one so gory. Evil Dead Trap 2 was actually still quite early on in his career, with only a few adult films before that, and another indie horror known as Lucky Sky Diamond, often seen as one of the chapters from the famed Guinea Pig series. A number of years later, Osamu would shoot the fantastic Bayside Shakedown, Space Travelers, Samurai Commando Mission 1549, and Kaiji 2 The Ultimate Gambler, among many others. This time the story focuses on an unhappy theatre projectionist who soon comes to the realisation that she may, in fact, just be a serial killer responsible for a host of brutal murders in the area. While often compared to the first, Evil Dead Trap 2 has since become a Marmite movie for many fans of horror cinema, often underrated for its artistic approach, and dark tones of abortion. But to some, it is considered a contemporary masterpiece, providing an unnerving viewing experience with its over-the-top gore, dreamlike atmosphere, and brutal climactic battle at the end, with shades of David Cronenberg that will sit with you for a long time after.